You guys.
Okay.
I'm gonna start our video going. Hey guys. You're good.
Welcome. So glad you're here tonight for Nancy Crosby's Lexus celebration. Way to go, Nancy! Nancy's Lexus celebration is 2 years and 2 months in the making. I had the privilege tonight to share a tiny bit about Nancy's pre-RF journey. But before I do, I'm going to give you a brief overview of tonight's events. And after you hear me, you're going to hear your very own RFX Circle Achiever, Natalie Rogers. And last but not least is our rock star leader, like a boss, Nancy Crosby. Some of you might not know who I am, so I'm going to tell you. I am Nancy's mother. I'm an RF Premier Level 5 leader. When I look back over the last 2 years and 2 months of this journey, it seems like a dream, but it's a very, very good dream. When I said yes to RF, I never thought in my wildest dreams, I never even thought, actually, when I said yes. I just knew that these were the doctors that created Proactive, and I just jumped right in. I didn't think about how busy I was. I didn't think about that I'm 58 years old. I don't know how to do Facebook. But that didn't matter because of the opportunity that was given to me. My husband and I are very busy. My husband is in full-time Christian ministry as a pastor. And wherever he goes, I go. And whatever he does, I do. I do write his sermons, but I don't preach. Actually, that was a joke, too. I'm also a preschool ministry coordinator. We have 100 children daily in our center. I have 43 employees. I teach Bible study twice a week. I mentor young women. I'm very busy, but I said to myself, I'm not too busy to take this opportunity because my husband and I had always thought that someday, before we went into the ministry, that we would have this retirement, we would go all these places, but then God led us into the ministry, and it's been fantastic. But we haven't really had an opportunity to save for retirement. So when I said yes to Rodan and Fields, this little thing in the back of my head said, this may be your way to start saving for retirement. So now, 2 years later, I've been able to see both my daughters be very successful in this business, and both of them, as of today, are Lexus Achievers. As for my husband and I, Rodan and Fields has given us the opportunity and the ability to dream bigger than we've ever thought we could dream. And we're going to be able to live better in retirement than we ever had in our previous years. So, I'm excited, honey. So, enough time. I've wasted enough time talking about me. I want to share how Nancy got to be a Lexus Achiever. Many of you know Nancy as she is today, this beautiful, energetic, savvy businesswoman. And this is Nancy as you know her today. But this is Nancy as I knew her as a mother, and this is how she first started out. She's so cute. Yes, she had to be bathed in the sink. She wouldn't know. I'm kidding. Nancy was this little chubby girl, and when she was born, Natalie just was so excited. And Natalie decided that she would feed Nancy, she would carry Nancy everywhere, and she would talk for Nancy. And for about the first 4 years of Nancy's life, Nancy let Natalie pay for her. Nancy, would you like some orange juice, Natalie? She don't want it. That's just the way it was. And I begin to think, was Nancy born innately shy, or is this a learned behavior because Natalie just spoiled her? And so early on, Ronnie and I realized that we might have a little difficulty with Nancy entering into the world of communication. We would say to her, Nancy, Use your words. Nancy liked to smile. We would say, Nancy, don't whisper hello. Say hello where people can hear you. It was constantly this communication thing that Nancy didn't want to interact with other people, but just with Natalie. So we worked on that. And then as she got older, she was on the gymnastics team, and we would have fundraisers, and they would do them together. And so I would take them out with their little box of candy, or sometimes it might be light bulbs. But we'd take them out, and they would do their little spill, go up to the door. And when they get back in the car, I would say, when they got back into the car, I would say, how'd you do? And they both said, we sold everything. And then I would ask, Nancy, did you sell anything? And Natalie would respond for Nancy. She carried her box. So I'm like, okay, we're at fundraisers. We're not doing those together anymore. We're going to do those separate. So what we ended up doing is Ronnie would take Natalie and I would take Nancy. And on this one day, I have to tell you this story, is Ronnie took Nancy to sell a box of candy. And I'm talking probably 50 bars of candy. Nancy was so cute. I don't know why she thought no one would buy from her, but he pulled up and he said, Nancy, it's time for you to get out of the car. You know what to say. So go up to the door and sell your candy. And Nancy just sat there and stared straight ahead. And Ronnie's like, what am I going to do? So he said, Nancy, you're on a team. Everyone's depending on you. This is for your gymnastics. And she just started crying. Nancy, we're not leaving here till you get out of that car and sell that candy. Yeah, but she got out of the car because he said, we're not going home. It's 5:30, but we're not going home. And she got out and she walked that neighborhood and he slowly drove behind her. And she got in the car and she had sold all her candy. And I don't know why. Yay, Nancy! So, very excited that Nancy got over that. And I just want to say to you today, Nancy, that I'm so extremely proud of you because everything you do to be a leader for Right Boss has helped me and has helped me to grow more than I ever dreamed I would after I turned 58. But also, I wanted to tell you that I know everything you do, you push yourself out of your comfort zone. Being your mom, I know that. And so I appreciate that. And I'm very blessed to see you do that. And I'm even more excited just to see you get your Lexus and where you've come today. And you're a blessing to me. And I wouldn't be a Premier Level 5 without Nancy. She helps me. She doesn't do it for me, but she helps me. So thank you, Nancy. And now we're going to hear from our RFX Circle for Natalie. So thank you, Nancy. And now we're going to hear from our RFX Circle for Natalie.
So I've actually never done RF with notes in about a year and a half. But we changed up the speech, and so I planted and wrote notes. So I'm going to try not to look too much at it. But I first want to just tell you a little bit about myself very briefly. A lot of you know my story. I am actually a physician assistant by trade. I worked as a PA for a decade, now retired. I worked in cardiology for 5 years and radiation oncology for 5 years. But by far, my most important job is being a wife to Rocky and being a mother to our twin boys that I cherish so much. They are almost 3 years old, and they are the reason why I saw this opportunity and thought, no way am I overlooking this. Because when you become a parent, or maybe even as you age, you start to realize that time is going by very quickly. And my husband and I struggle with infertility, and I've gone through several rounds of IVF. We still struggle with it. And I think when you struggle with something like that, becoming a mother, you even cherish the moments so much more. And so I look at them and know that every second is a second gone that I can never get back. That's what this business, and that's what I'm going to be sharing with you tonight. That's what we're giving back to people, time. So I want to tell you first why I did not join Rodan Field. I wasn't bored. I didn't have all this time on my hands. I had twins that were 8 months old. I was nursing them, and then pumping, and then nursing again. And I worked as a PA. We were busy. I wasn't a skincare junkie. I just wasn't that type of girl. I was more a tomboy growing up. I didn't know a bunch of people. I didn't have this huge social media, and I thought, oh, I can share with all my friends. There was all these reasons I didn't join for, but I'll tell you what I did. Is when I saw a post on Facebook that said, partnering with proactive doctors, I thought, need to partner with them. So I want to share with you tonight, not really my personal story, but why RF? Why are we different? Why are we the company that you need to be watching? And I'm going to do that in list form. A few reasons: I love numbers and I love lists. And I also did top 8, because Nancy's favorite number is 8. So we'll go ahead and start with number 1, our doctors. When you partner with someone, it matters who you're partnering with. So being in the medical field, their credibility is impeccable. They're the most quoted top dermatologists in the world. They're Stanford-trained dermatologists, still practicing dermatologists today. So to some of you, that may not be a big deal, but let me tell you, there are people that create skincare companies out of a lab and a textbook. When you have 50 years of clinical experience combined, that trumps any knowledge you have in the textbook any day of the week. These doctors have 50 years of combined clinical experience. There's a 2-year wait list to get in to see them in their busy practice. They're also clinical professors at Stanford. You can't get a better resume in their field of dermatology. And so that's the people who have partnered with is success. So number 2, global brand recognition. How many companies go under every single day because they cannot be recognized as a brand? How much money is spent, JR, to build brand recognition? Okay, let me just give you a little story. When I say someone, I'm a Rodeo consult, they say, what's that? I say, proactive doctor. They go, oh yeah. So instantly, millions of dollars had just been saved that I didn't have to spend. Decades of work and sleepless nights was just done because I said the word proactive doctors. They've done all of that for us. Everyone recognizes that all around the world. And that is something you cannot buy and you cannot recreate overnight. That's huge. Number 3, we're the first brand to lead high-end retail, and that's never been done before. But let me tell you, we will not be the last. People are watching our company, not the Direct Sale Association. Yeah, they're watching us too. But I'm talking about all the people outside. They're looking at us like, what is happening? This was a brand name. We were number 1 clinical selling brand in Nordstrom's, Meekins, places like that. We've left and entered this industry. Okay, you guys, we're not a skincare company. I mean, we're not a network marketing company that said, let's come up with some skincare. We are a skincare company that came into this model and chose it because of the way the world is changing, which I'll get to in a minute. So we will not be the last. Why? Because this works. How much money is spent on advertising? We are the brand ambassadors of Rodeo Bills. They pay us the millions and millions of dollars a year that we pay in advertising, which we pay zero for because we're walking advertising. And we're getting paid for that. It's going to regular people to help change their family's future, their lives. It's a myriad of ways, you name it, it's happening. The next is social commerce. Our doctors are not just excellent physicians. A lot of physicians are not actually really good at business. It's just not what we do in medicine. But they happen to be both. So I say this because we are changing the face of direct sales. We are changing what people think about this industry. And to just be real frank, we're making it cool again. It's cool again. You know, it used to not be cool at all. Like, it just was kind of something you're like, I was like, no way, no how, I'm going to be out of here. And now it's making it something cool again. So this is what they did with infomercials. In the early 1990s, this was looked down upon. So now P. Diddy, Justin Bieber, Cindy Crawford, they all got an infomercial. Our doctors changed the face of that industry as well. And that's huge. So the next one is social commerce. Well, that's the way of the future. We're all seeing it happening. Of course, there's always going to be brick and mortar stores, but we're seeing what's happening. Everything is moving online. Everything is becoming word of mouth. So, real life example, I've never been to an eye doctor. I needed an eye doctor. So did I care about who's in the phone book? But did I care who is advertising on television? They're in all our magazines. No, I don't care. I went on Facebook. I posted a picture of the eye exam. I said, Tulsa Ribs, where in Midtown can I go and see an eye doctor? I had 7 people tell me where they go. I picked one of them and went. That's what our business is. We all share and do this every single day. Every one of you, if you're not at RF, of course, if you're an RF, you are. But if you're not, you are in network marketing. We do this all the time. We share information. And our doctors saw the shift. That the money that we're making was from word of mouth when they were in retail. It wasn't from CEOs and millions of dollars in advertisement, and surely wasn't from the lady behind the glass counter. It was because Patty told Teresa told Patty told Carrie told Natalie told Nancy and Gina, and they told all of you. And that's how the business works these days. So, next is a virtual storefront. I don't need to say much about that. We don't inventory, we don't do deliveries, and we're not a private company. That's huge, you guys. With technology today, I can be in people's living rooms, which could be, I guess, scary, but I can be in people's living rooms with Zoom, Facebook, anything, FaceTime. I can be in any part of the world leading a team. That's big business. This is no longer the sales where it was just your little neighborhood you sold to and handed a magazine to. This is global. So that leads me to my next thing. It's a consumable product. So, I mean, I don't have to say much about consumable product either. So what do? We put products on our face, we wash it down the drain, and we buy it again. And that's important because you only need so much jewelry. You're only going to buy so many bags. I was already spent money a lot into skincare. I just shifted it over to RF, and then the first time in history, skincare actually paid me back in a big way. So it's things people are already spending money on. So that's huge. The other thing is that everyone, I mean, look around you. There's not one person you're sitting by that doesn't have skin. Not one. If they do, so everyone is our potential person who needs our products, okay? And the next is a huge, huge one. I had a massive light bulb go on about 3 or 4 months into my business because I know how the tides of medicine are changing. And if you're in the medical field, you know this too. In the decade that I was there, I saw massive changes. The access to dermatology, the access to medical care, period, is decreasing. Why? Because less and less physicians are going into medical school because the benefit isn't there the same. So what does that mean? There are less and less doctors to see more and more people. So as we're going to build consultants, we're providing skincare. We're actually providing dermatological skincare that changes your skin at a cellular level. This is not just cleaning your face. These are products that you would have to do to go to the dermatologist. The brown all over my face, I would have had to spend thousands of dollars in a dermatology office. So as consultants, we're going to be more needed tomorrow than today. There's only one dermatologist for 30,000 people, and that's why my profession as a PA was the fastest growing. It's because there were more and more mid-level providers, less and less physicians. I asked one of my patients who was a dermatologist at a big practice in Tulsa, with tons of dermatologists. I said, what is the wait list as a new patient? He said 4 months. And we are in a big city. I thought, it's going to be 4 months. That's only going to get worse, and for us, that means cha-ching. So, the last but not least, by far, is our global march. Proactive is in 120 countries, sold all around the world, in a multi-million-dollar company. They own 80+% of the global ad market. And I love it when Nancy says, who else owns the market like that? Maybe Starbucks. That doesn't happen. That's what we're doing, and they've done it, and no one has beaten their multi-med therapy. No one has come up and changed how we treat acne, and that's huge. So, next thing I want to talk about is so many women in this room, so many people in this room have caught this same vision that I have caught and that I have seen. And some of you husbands have caught it too. Some of you have not. So what I want to tell you tonight, and I guarantee that Rocky, JR, and my dad will stand up here today and say the best thing that you can do for yourself, not for your spouse, selfish reasons, just do it out of selfish reasons. Support your wife's vision, because her vision can and will dramatically change how you live out the rest of your years with your family. What dad doesn't want to be and see their children more and not miss out as much? My husband's going to get to see more of our home and our boys and less of the four walls of his office because of Roseanne Hill. I don't know any dad that doesn't want to be home more to see their children grow up and not wait till they're 65 to start living life. So just believe in your wife, and one day you're going to be driving the car that my husband drives my car every day to work. So it's just about time freedom. I don't care how much money you have, you can't create time. We're actually creating it this company. So what I want you to know is this is not some little cute side gig that we're doing. This isn't a hobby for stay-at-home mom, although it can be. But we are CEOs of potential multi-million-dollar global enterprises. NapPack alone, my team, in 2 years and a couple months, is projected to sell over $5 million this year. And it grows every year. And like a boss, your team, and I'm a conservative projections girl. Okay? I got my spreadsheet, and I do my conservative projections, you never know. But like a boss is just going to sell well over $1.5 million this year. And it's growing every month. That's just completely crazy. So we are talking CEO salary. You can choose to make that. We can definitely be a hobby, but it doesn't have to be. And it's not what what's happening with tons of people on our team. So, what does that mean for my family? When I say my family, I use that as a personal story, but I'm saying us, our families. I've made hundreds of stories of people that I now know personally, okay, that have these same exact stories, but they live in different ways. But for my family personally, I have left a PA career that gave me a six-figure income yearly, and in 2 years, it's been able to be triple. You know, it costs me 6 figures in loans to go to PA school, and now my side gig is paying that off. I mean, that's crazy. So, in the next year, this is something that is just, you know, I think that most people don't ever think of walking away from what they were doing as their career. I love being a PA. And I think most men don't even think about doing something different. Because I think that none of us think there's actual possibilities of doing something different. But within the next year, my husband can choose to step away from the daily grind of running their company, and he can actually pursue things he loves to do instead of doing the things you have to do to pay the bills. That's living life. People get to wake up in the morning, and if we want to go on a trip to see all the history stuff on the East Coast, we can get an RV and do that. I never ever thought I would say I want to get in a coast. He had when we first started dating. I was like, I don't care. So, because in these past 2 years, we've been able to surpass our old monthly income, all because of Rodan and Bills. And that is just like, it's completely life-changing. So, is this life-changing? Yeah. Is this opportunity available to everyone in this room? Yes. So for me, this was truly a no-brainer. And I'm going to tell you, when I started in this business, this is what I imagined in my mind. In the early 1990s, so I went back in time, okay? So I know what proactive is, okay? And I go back in time to the early 1990s, and the proactive doctors, Katie and Kathy, are in my living room, and they're saying, hey, Natalie, we want you to partner with us in our new skincare company. It's going to be huge. I think it's going to be awesome. I went, yeah, I know what it's going to do. Sign up. Where is the dotted line? I'm ready. I know what's going to happen. And all of you knew what you know now about proactive in the early 90s. You just said, yeah, sign up for your first child. And so that's what's happened here today, and some of us still aren't getting it. That was acne. We treat all the 4 top dermatological skincare conditions that there are. You guys, it's happening again. It's going to be way bigger. You'll never be able to tell it. I can tell you so. So, what I tell people around me is, this company is not for the few, but it's simply for the willing. One of the things that makes me the most sad to hear is, oh, that's so good for you. Oh, I'm so happy you're able to do that. Oh, you must know a lot of people. Oh, you must this, that. You must have time. There's all these reasons. And I look and say, no, I'm not special. I may be special, but I'm not special. I don't have anything different than anyone else. I was just willing. My sister's not, she's special to me, but you know what I mean. We were just willing people to do something different, so out of our comfort zone, so outside of the box to get something different. And I love how Debbie, one of our leaders on our team, always says, nothing changes and nothing changes. And when we first started out, we look at some of our top leaders, and they were just regular people, moms, dads, regular people, look down and they would say, guys, our success is your future. And we're standing here today telling you our success is your future if you choose for it to be. So, when I heard changing skin, changing lives, when we started, I thought, well, it's a little dramatic, and it's a little bit cheesy. And I'm not going to say it, because come on, this is just skincare. But more today than yesterday, we're changing skin and changing lives. When you get text messages from people who say, I have to quit my second job because of this business. When you get people who text you and say, I'm going to adopt now, we're changing lives. When you get people who say, I can walk outside of my house now because the acne's gone, that's changing lives. When you get a mom who says, I get to work part-time now, or I'm going to get to be at the bus, that's changing lives. So family are getting their time back because you all agree, life is a rat race. It's gotten it's just a complete rat race. We spend our entire lives away from the people we love to provide for them, and that's just got to change. And I'm so grateful these doctors have given us a hope of a different way of doing things where you just get to live life. And that is just something amazing. I shouldn't have looked at Amanda. So obviously we're here to celebrate Nancy and her bosses. So I quickly moved on. Let's keep going. So what does Lexus qualification even mean in our company? Some of you may be familiar with other direct sale companies. I was not. But what I've learned is a lot of them push in hard really, really quickly so that there's just this glam and hype to get people lured in, not in Rodan bills. So what I want you to understand is how big of a deal this is. when you get a Lexus qualification for the field, your team volume has sold 125,000 per month for 3 consecutive months. That is huge. When you get to that position, you're rolling at Lexus volume, and then the next month, just like you guys did, you went past it, and now you're going to close out close to 200 this month and move on. That's what our business does. Revenue fills our doctors set us up for success. It's not hype. It's not bring you in. This is true success. When you look at Lexus qualification, you are at a business that is skyrocketing, and that is such a big accomplishment. So I'm very proud of you. Great leaders are born with the help of a great team, but a great team is born with the help of a great leader. So tonight, Nancy, we celebrate you and your Like a Boss team of rock stars. Because of your leadership and dedication, you have provided a place where others can rise and most often exceed their fullest potential. You have inspired others to step out of their comfort zone, especially the painfully shy, to rise up and become a better version of themselves. The personal development that we get in this business, the personal development, not only pays us, but it bleeds over into every area of our life, making self-help extremely profitable for a change. You have created a team culture of positivity, passion, camaraderie, tenacity, integrity, and we rise by lifting others up kind of attitude. Great leaders don't tell you what to do, they show you how it's done. And that's exactly what Nancy has done, and tonight is a testament of that. So with this, I introduce my best friend, my business partner, and my sister, Premier Level 5, and now my Lexus Achiever, Nancy Crosby. I love you. I'm so very proud of you.
She's going to make me cry before I even start talking. I think that's kind of the way these things go. Sorry, I'm talking my speech down here. This is such a surreal moment, and when you start in this business, you hear about people doing things like this, and you think, maybe I could do that. And so it's so overwhelming to get to this point and to see all of your faces in this room, and I would just really love for all of you guys to give yourselves a round of applause, because this is a team effort. You do not get to this place without a team. So yeah, let's give each other. I'm so incredibly proud of this team and each one of you in here tonight and people watching on this video. We have a team spread out across the US and Canada, and I'm so proud of each and every one of you, and I'm thankful for you. And I cannot wait to celebrate a whole lot more free Lexuses in the future, because I know a bunch of people in this room and on the video that watching this video are going to get one. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about myself and kind of how this very painfully shy girl got to be in organic fields and really sharing with people for a living, which is kind of crazy. But I do feel like you kind of already heard a little bit of my life story, and you feel like you know me really well at this point. But they're absolutely right. I was painfully shy. I'm not a salesperson. Never imagined myself doing anything like this ever. And when my sister brought it to me, I was like, no, definitely not. Not for me. I had 3 kids 3 and under at the time. I'm like, I don't want to have party requirements, sell minimums. I want to ship inventory. I'm like, and I don't have time. Like, who has time for this? And I'm not business minded. I went to college for like political science, and I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, and that's what I was doing. I was home with my babies. My husband was running a successful business, and we were living comfortably. And so I didn't really see the reason to do it. And she was kind of like, well, she wasn't going to let me say no. So she was like, well, just get the better discount and maybe make some money for some like fun shoes or something. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess I can do it for that reason. But once I got into this company, and I started to see what was going on. And first of all, let me just tell you something. I started to first of all see my skin transform, and I went foundation free and concealer free. And that does matter. It matters because how we perceive ourselves, or what we see in the mirror when we first get up, whether we like it or not, that matters in our daily lives. I watched my son Radcliffe, who had struggled with eczema for almost 2 years at that point. It was clawing his feet until they bled. I used that Soothe regimen, which is the green one, on his skin, and it was transforming his skin in a way that nothing else ever had. And we have tried everything. And the more that I'm in this business, the more that I talk to people, many of you who are in this room, and I can't even barely look at you, who have struggled with skin issues. And it affects your self-esteem, your self-confidence. It keeps people from wanting to go out and live life, because that's how people see us. And so when you change skin, you do change someone's life. And it's not cheesy, it's absolute reality in this company. The other thing that I noticed when I got into this company is the kind of financial freedom that it was creating for people. I was blown away by that. It was something I never expected, I did not see coming, I did not think was possible. I had my assumptions about these kinds of businesses. My husband was a super skeptic, and I mean super duper. And so I just didn't expect any of the things that were going on. People shrinking 30-year careers into 3 to 5 years, doing all the things that you've already heard Natalie talk about. I just never expected that. And it was at that time when I was listening to these other leaders pour back into us. I was kind of sitting there listening to a training call, and I started to think, it was a few months into my business, and I started to just think in my mind, what if I could do that for my family? And I think for the very first time, because it was possible, I started to take a closer look at my own life. And we were living comfortably, and I was staying at home with my children. I was so thankful for that. But that comfortable life was provided by someone, and he was paying the price. One person in our family was paying the cost for it. And he did it with a smile on his face and joy in his heart, and he loves us, and he wants to provide for us. But he was the one making the 60 to 80-hour work weeks and the commute back and forth and missing things at home and carrying all the stress financially and emotionally, running his business, providing for us. And so when I realized what was possible, I thought, if they can do it, why not me? Why not me? I have the same business, I have the same vehicle. So it was that, at that time, about probably 5 months into my business, when I said, I want to change everything for my family. I want to change things for him. And I want to do life together. I want to do life on our own terms. And so it's been 2 years in the making, but as my paycheck has grown, our choices and our freedom has grown. And that paycheck that started off with like $81 has grown into a 6-figure income from home that I get to do around my busy schedule and not the other way around. And very soon, I'll be able to look at my husband and he'll get to decide if he works, when he works, where he works, how he works. And like I said, our choices and that freedom is getting bigger and bigger with each paycheck. And I know that the next couple of years, I'm not even going to recognize my life. Because when I look back at the last 2, I could never have dreamed the kind of blessings or opportunity that this business has given me. And all of you guys in this room are a testament to that. Because I know I'm going to get ahead of myself, but I'm going to come back to that because this is really about you guys. This is about this team effort. And I could not be here without you guys. And the fact, not only that, but like you heard my sister and mom talk about, and I don't want to get emotional, but it's probably going to happen. I'm just forewarning you. Because it is a team effort, and not only that, but it also have to have a support system. And I've had an incredible one. And I could not have chased my dreams and done this without them. And so I first like to thank my in-laws that are back here in the back of the room. I have 2 sets of in-laws here. Scott and Marie Crosby that live 2 doors down from us. Right over there, Breeze, waving her hand. And Carol and Harvey Anderson that also live just up on 620. And I am so incredibly thankful for you guys because you're always there to help us out with the kids or even to come over and fix something at the house. You're extremely supportive, encouraging, loving, and I absolutely could not have done any of this without your support and your love. And so I'm so grateful for you guys. So thank you very much. I also want to, of course, thank my own parents. And, my mom pointed out a lot of different ways in which she kind of pushed me outside of my comfort zone, or I guess maybe kicked me a little bit. marathons and that kind of thing. And the fact, we did a lot of door-to-door raising money for gymnastics. It's expensive. And so anyways, and she really made it intentional to see that in me and to know that I wasn't going to come out of my shell on my own. She needed to help me. They needed to help me, to push me outside of those comfort zones. And because of that, I'm able to do this business as a very shy person who kind of gets panicked about talking in front of people. I mean, that's insane. And the other thing that my mom did, and my sister and I joke all the time because she's like a life lessons kind of person, like life lesson number 300, or 3,562, here we go. But the thing is like every day she paid for us to practice the piano, and every day we would practice, and we had to practice. And we begged every day for years to quit, but she would not let us quit. And what that taught me was so many things at a young age that I am thankful for now that you told me I would be thankful for. Lesson number, 4,000. But to be intentional, to be dedicated, to be committed, and to be disciplined. And I have needed this at every step in my rodeo journey and in life, really, even as a mother, as a wife, as a friend. And so I am eternally grateful to you as a mom for being who you are in my life and for all these times you needed lessons along the way. And to my dad, there's so many things that I could say, but I think the thing that really stands out to me is you're always someone I wanted to be like. And I remember as a little girl, my dad's a preacher, and so I remember as a little girl, we were always over the church and basically lived there. And when the sanctuary would be empty, I would go up to the pulpit and I would pretend like I was preaching. And it wasn't because I like talking in front of people, we've already gone over that. It was because I wanted to be like you. I wanted to mimic you. And I saw your passion and how much you were dedicated to what you did. And I just have this vivid memory of wanting to be like you. And so I'm thankful that you're a person that I want to mimic and I want to be like. And in all honesty, wanted to find a husband that was like you. So I'm so thankful for your example. I love you. And of course I have my sister over here, who you've already heard from. And you guys, Natalie is not only my sister and my best friend, but she is absolutely my inspiration and mentor in this business. And not only would I have not said yes, but I would not be where I am today without Natalie. And quite honestly, neither would our team. You pour into us all the time, and you drive me to be better, you challenge me to be better. And I'm so incredibly thankful for you and honored really to have you as my sister and to be in business together and be living our dreams together. And then last, but no, not last, but JR, my husband. This man, my husband, he didn't believe in the business at first, and he was skeptical. But let me tell you something. He has always believed in me. And he told me from day one, he said, I don't know about this whole Rodeo thing, but I do believe in you. And if anyone can do it, you can do it. And that kind of confidence and that kind of faith in you has been my absolute rock in everything that I've done, because I know that you believe in me. And you're always there to support me, encourage me, give me time if I need it, attend things with me, watch the kids, whatever it is. And I love that you're in it with me, that we're putting in, because if you want to get to anything that is at this point in life, or to make success, you have to make short-term sacrifices for long-term gains. And he has been in it with me, and we're going to be able to live life on our own terms and have all those dreams that we wanted to, and live more and give more and dream more because of this company. And you know, my support system is so important to me, and you guys as my team are so incredibly important to me. And I love the part about this business that's personal relationships and personal development. And as I look across this room right now, I see all these faces. If I could see you all on the video, I would say the same thing. But I see all these faces, and I know your struggles. I know your fears. I know the ways that you had to get out of your comfort zone. I know what drives you. I know your whys. And I also know your successes and your triumphs and your hopes and your dreams, because we are in this together. We are walking this journey side by side, and we are making it happen. And that is a beautiful, beautiful thing. So I have a quote. I didn't bring my phone up. I just want to read this quote about teamwork. Okay, teamwork is the ability to work together toward a common vision, the ability to direct individual accomplishments towards organizational objectives. It is the fuel that allows common people to attain uncommon results. And let me tell you something, this group of people right here, you're very uncommon. And we are achieving very uncommon results with our lives and with this business together. And so now, I would really just like to take a little bit of time to honor my direct consultants. And I wish that I had time to honor everybody in this room and everyone on our team, and to highlight you guys and tell you how thankful I am, because this really is a group effort. But I want to call my directs up one by one and say thank you to you for your efforts and dedication to this business. And maybe say a little bit something about you, so hopefully I won't embarrass you or too bad or something like that. But I would just like to start with the most recent, who just put her lip gloss on. By the way, Deanna Potter. Oh, she's crying. So I'm gonna have her come up. And I think that you can just probably start seeing maybe right over here, and then we'll make room for everybody. So this girl is my most recent person to join me, and she makes me probably cry a lot, all the time. But she's an incredible person. We know each other, and I want you guys to know how we know each other, because this is a business of relationships. So we know each other through our kids' schools. And for a long time, I didn't talk to Deanna about the business. I just felt like maybe she didn't need it, or I don't know, because I still struggle with that. I mean, I'll go up to every single person I meet, like, oh, you need to join Rotator Builds, like that doesn't happen. But she stopped me one day, and she asked me about my skin and about my glow. And we have developed such a strong and important relationship, and I'm so incredibly thankful for you, and you are totally rocking your business, and she's absolutely already changing her family's life, and I absolutely adore you. And my next person I'm going to have, stay. Sorry. My next person I'm going to have come up is Claire Berger. Not all of my directs could be here tonight. I have 24 directs, but some of them will be watching the video. The ones that are here tonight, I'm directing. This is your kid, Claire. And Claire and I know each other through Grace, our church. And honestly, we didn't actually really hang out, but she noticed a post on Facebook. And she was watching that I earned a trip to Napa, and she messaged me, and she was like, what is this about Napa? Like, what? And so we kind of started talking from there. She's just been an absolute light and joy. I always tell her she's a little bottle of positivity. You just want to take around everywhere, and she really, truly is. And I'm so grateful for you, for your friendship, and just that we get to be together, girl. I started talking from there. And then the next person I'm going to have come up is Lauren Allen. So Lauren and I know each other from just around the neighborhood, and we were in a mom's group together. But again, we weren't really like hanging out or anything like that. We just knew of each other. And one day I was sending out my messages, and I had not gotten it. I ran across her name, and I thought, why have I not messaged Lauren Allen? And I just felt like I need to message her right now. It was just this feeling. And I happens to be so many times in this business that it's like a God-directed thing. And that's why I know this business is a gift from Him. Not just because of all the incredible things that are happening, but because the people He brings into your life when He does. And she was certainly one of those people. And I'm so proud of you. And I think it's like a God-directed thing. Next up is, Shannon. Okay, so Shannon and I go way back. So Shannon and I know each other from Hot Springs, Arkansas, and she used to be my babysitter. I was just so young, and she remember talking to Cookie every time we went. So Shannon's the coolest, and her sister Carrie. So we have known each other forever. She has seen me evolve. She knew me as a shy person. And my absolute thing is how this business brings back together from people from the past that you love and you don't spend a lot of time with anymore. It's such an incredible blessing. So we have known each other forever. Oh, Amy Hadley. So Amy is my cul-de-sac neighbor. So we're in the same cul-de-sac. And I did actually kind of harass Amy because I was like, I'm going to give all my neighbors an invitation. And so I saw her out in the cul-de-sac one day. I was like, Amy, hey! Oh, you know, it's one of those comfort things that get out of. And I'm like, you've got to try this mini facial. And so she did. And at first, she was a preferred customer for a long time. And she was the best kind because she would basically buy whatever I told her to, which was awesome. But then she decided to join us and join me in business. And at first it was for a better discount. And then her why grew and her passion for this business grew. Her vision for this business has mine. And she has grown so much. And she's such an incredible person in my life. And I'm so thankful for our friendship. And just really for God guiding our paths and putting us together. And for you putting yourself out there and allowing yourself. And she's such an incredible.
Amen.
I'm gonna make it through. Okay, so next up is Sarah Monty Walters. So Miss Sarah, used to sing at our church, and the first time I ever saw her sing, I was like, oh my gosh, she has to sing at my wedding. Like, Whitney just won't do it. Well, she, at the time, and she was sorry, that's kind of sad. But anyway, Sarah can do it. But I didn't know her at the time, and I didn't want to be like a total weirdo and be like, I'm obsessed with you and sing at my wedding. But eventually I did ask her. And we kind of have just developed a friendship ever since. And she decided to join me in business a little over a year ago. And she has had a really incredible, unique journey and has really found her footing and what she wants out of this business. She's had a baby in the meantime. And I'm so proud of her because she's one of those people that is willing to get vulnerable, who a lot of times wears her emotions on her sleeve, and she's just real. And we need those kind of people. And honestly, she is a kind of person that people do want to follow. And I found myself listening to her and learning from her. So I'm so thankful for you. And a lot of that. I know what it is. Yeah, I'm just saying that. Funnily enough, Whitney Tetters. So Whitney and I have been long-time Bible study buddies. But at first, because Whitney is not like a super outgoing person. She is, but not like super social. And so when I first met her, I thought, I don't think Whitney likes me. Now her sister Cassie is super. She's like, oh my gosh, hi, how are you? So I thought she didn't like me, but she did, apparently, right? But she's one of those people that God also put on my heart. And I initially was like, it was a no-brainer to talk to Kelsey about it. But God was telling me, you need to talk to Whitney. And I didn't know her that well at the time, and I guess I was getting to know her. But I just knew that I needed to talk to him. And the growth and the journey that I've seen Whitney have, and let me tell you about pushing yourself outside of comfort zones. This girl right here does it all the time because this whole business is out of her comfort zone. Entirely. Other than talking about products because she's a nurse. Everything else is out of her comfort zone. And so she's a testament to what this business can do and how worth it truly is. So I love you. Okay, and next is Amanda Barda. So Amanda, there might be start crying that way. So Amanda and I, and Mark, her husband over here, and JR, we've been friends for a long time. And Mark and JR actually grew up together, and they're like best friends. They work together. And so when I started in this business, she was on my chicken list. And I wanted this girl to join me in business. And after months and months and months of being too afraid to talk to her, even though I kind of talked to her about it a little bit, I kind of was like, she's my friend. I should just ask her. And so I did. And I called her one day and I was like, are you going to do this with me or what? And she was kind of like, maybe I am. You know, Amanda, you can totally see that as well. So, that was kind of the beginning. But Amanda's just one of those people. She's one of those special people that the minute that she joined this business, it wasn't just that she was doing something for herself. She was motivating me. She made me believe in myself more. She's challenged me to be a better leader and a better person and a better friend. And we've been through a lot together. And we know a whole lot about each other. And probably too much. But this girl has a big why. And she is not afraid to put herself out there. And she's not afraid to love on other people. And she's not afraid to overcome the things of her past and to look for the future. And she's a true testament to changing lives. And I absolutely love you. Jamie, my sister-in-law. Jamie calls me, let's touch her now. Sorry, Bill. They have been married for a while and have a baby, so I should get that. But Jamie, after my mom, was the first one to join me in business. And she has struggled with horrible, like cystic acne, sensitive skin stuff. And so she kind of was my guinea pig. And I was like, Jamie, try to blemish, see what happens, and let's take it with one afters. And her being as gracious as she is and nice as she is, even though she's a little worried about it, she did. And she loved the product so much that she joined me in business. And it's been so much fun to be able to do this together and talk about it together and just kind of experience a whole lot of Rodan and Phil's together. And I am excited about what the future holds for you. And I'm so proud of you and I love you. And my mom, Gina. So Gina is my mom, obviously, and she was my very first consultant. But actually, luckily for me, my sister Natalie pretty much recruited her for me. She's also my first level 5. She's a premier level 5. And I love so much about my mom, but probably the thing that sticks out the most to me about the fact that she's my consultant is that she's humble enough to learn from her daughter, which how annoying would that be? And she's always willing to grow and learn something new and put herself out there. And that encourages me to do the same. And I have such a great example in you of doing that. And I just know that there's no way I could be where I am in this business without you. And I'm so thankful that we can do it. So quickly, because I just think that, I love these girls, and maybe, should we get a picture real quick before we move on? Try to get some pictures. Okay,
Awesome.
Impromptu. We're on social media, so we're good at that. It's kind of a thing.
Nancy, scoot down just a little bit more for Amanda. Nancy, down. Nancy, a little bit down. Just a little bit.
That?
Here, Tina.
Thanks for bearing with us, guys. Thank you guys so much.
I love you, Nancy. I love you. Yes, we love you very much.
When do we get to say something about you?
Tiana's like, give me the mic.
There's not enough time.
Right, so Laura, there's not enough time. So I'm just gonna close with this. If you're in the room tonight or you're watching on the video and you're not a consultant with Rodan and Fields, and you're hearing these stories tonight, and you're hearing my story, and you're thinking, what if? What if I could do this for my family? And if she can do it, why not me? I did it. I was there 2 years ago, like I said, and I'm so thankful that I listened to my sister and to my mom, and I said yes to this life-changing, incredible business, and I didn't overlook it. And when it was sitting straight in my face, what was possible with this business, that I took it and I ran with it. I will never regret that decision. I'm so, so incredibly thankful for it. So I do want to read a quote because as you get older, you realize that it does matter who you surround yourself with. And that age-old lesson your parents are always talking to you about, it does matter. And I feel absolutely honored that I get to do this business with you guys, and I'm surrounded by exceptional people every single day. So I want to read this quote that I really feel like embodies who we are as a team and what we do here in this company, and what we really have now been given the privilege and the honor to live our lives. Walk with dreamers, the believers, the courageous, the cheerful, the planners, the doers, the successful people with their heads in the clouds and their feet on the ground. Let your spirit ignite a fire within you to leave this world better than when you found it. You guys do that. I love you guys. That's all I got.
One more thing, we do so many fun things that are just for our team. It's not corporate driven, it's just our team does this. It was actually started by our upline leaders. So every time we have a new Lexus Achiever, we give out a white watch for the Lexus. And it's a Michael Kors watch. You can Google it. And so I just want to give you this, and this is just fun things we do that are exciting on our team. I mean, where does your job ever give you perks like this? So anyway, love you.